Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another video. Alright, y'all. So, this is a follow up video to the video I did yesterday on the UAE khutbah regarding loyalty to the wife. And we got into, you know, polygamy and things like that. Hold on just a minute. Put this bag on my arm. Coming from the post office again. Alright, so based off of some of the comments, I decided that I wanted to expound a little bit on some of the things we talked about in the comments. And a brother made a comment about, it not being so easy for some to take a second wife, and then another brother made a comment about women who are against the idea of polygamy because the man has built his life with her, has children with her, and she helped him, with his business and the money and all of this stuff. And basically, it all comes down to money when it comes to the women who in the West, who, not just the West, because I've heard this even, this issue being brought up even with some East Africans, because you have business people in each country. So depending on the class of people, you have women who they feel the same way, and depending on the culture they come from, they feel the same way, But they get jealous and they get angry, but they know it's from a religion, so they don't fight that much. Western women, on the other hand, Allah Mustaan, sometimes they can get vicious, especially if they're like really into finances and the mainstream. They take on the ideas of the kuffar a lot, and that's what I'm going to get into a little bit in this video. So I'm going to mention some of the reasons why women are against their husbands taking another wife. And this is not for the men, this is going to be against the men, this part of it anyways. And then the second part is going to be against the women. So some of the reasons that I know for a fact, and I'll just say, yeah, I know why many women coming from the West, they don't want their husbands to take a second wife. They're dead set against it. And for some reasons, they are correct, because they're not going to be just. The man is irresponsible in his first marriage. He needs a lot of help from his first wife. He doesn't even check up on his family. He doesn't have good relations with his own family. He doesn't check up on his mother. He doesn't go see his family members. So, because he's so consumed with his wife, even though his wife advises him, you have to call your mother, you have to go see your mother, you have to go see your grandmother, you have to go see this person, that person. He can't walk and chew at the same time. So if that's the case, these are gripes and complaints that I've heard from women. If that's the case, where I'm advising this man to contact his family, he won't even contact his own mother or stay in, a lot of contact with them, consistent contact with the people who have rights over him. How much more so if he gets married, he gets a new thing, and he's going to leave us in a lurch. He's not going to be able to focus. So those are gripes, and understandably so. These are the type of brothers that if he's not strong enough, he's going to be unjust. He's not going to be able to be balanced in between two women. He's just not. He can't walk and chew. Then you have those who he's just bad with time. And he's ignorant, so he's not really established when it comes to knowledge of the Sharia, of being balanced, giving people their rights, even his first wife. Islamic rights, it's not purposefully given. It's like they're running their marriage just on like whatever, however they think a relationship is supposed to go. It's not based. It's not rooted in deen. It's just we happen to be Muslim and we're just in a relationship. However, we saw our parents do it. It's not based on religion, and that's why some men, if he does take another wife, his wife is going to give him a hard time because, of course, he's going to cite the verses of the Quran and that it's his right and he can get married again when it comes to taking a second wife. And she's going to look at him like he's lost his mind because since when have you been talking about religion? Since when have any of the decisions in our life, the daily dealings in our household, when is it rooted in religion? So now all of a sudden you want to quote verses and that's why they say, oh, you're trying to use the religion for your own desires. Because she knows you. She knows you're not on no major deen in the house. So now you want to get another wife, even though he can if he has the finances, but just don't, she doesn't respect the fact that now you want to use the religion and talk about a second wife when that's not even how you run your relationship. That's just reality. So they don't respect it. If you came like that from the beginning, or you were already trying to establish things in a religion to you get stronger, get closer to Allah, classes and implement things from the Sharia in the house, then she could say, okay, we've already been on this path, no problem, I respect that. She would follow you, as a matter of fact. She would follow you. She wouldn't have so many issues with it because you've already been on the path of trying to establish the religion, an Islamic mindset in your household. No, you're living however you're living. You have the mindset that you have. So, of course, he's going to oppress the woman. He's going to oppress the second wife. Because what? His first wife has him twisted in the first place. She's all in his head. He walks behind her. He lets her make all of the decisions. She wears the pants. He doesn't want to hear her mouth. So no doubt the second wife is going to suffer because he doesn't have a backbone. There's no deen established there. She's going to walk all over the second wife, as a matter of fact. If she tells him to divorce her, he's going to say, sis, I'm sorry. What do you mean you're sorry? You're going to traumatize the second wife. Absolutely. Because you didn't strengthen yourself. You didn't raise yourself on deen. You didn't cultivate yourself and your household on religion. So you want to practice a part of the religion that needs knowledge, where you have to get people right, where you have to stand, you had waqif zawjtik ala hadha, like stop her in her tracks, stop your wife in her tracks. The first one, if she tries to transgress against the second, if you don't have that kind of background, brother, backbone, and used to dealing with women and I don't want to say refereeing between them, but stopping them and coming in between them and setting the record straight about respect and boundaries, you could forget it. Polygamy is definitely not for you. 100% not. You're going to harm everybody, including yourself. Yeah, some sisters, they are helping their husbands tremendously financially. Like the burden falls on her a lot. He's not taking care of everything. It's times where she has to pay the rent. She has to help him with everything, including food, bills, everything. He is irresponsible. He's irresponsible. And then he comes along and tells her, oh yeah, I want to get married. I'm getting married. Excuse you. How's that? How is that? That happens. That happens. And then some brothers don't even care. You have the oppressive, dominant ones. He'll throw all the wives in one place, forcing them together and all that sort of nonsense. And of course, everything falls apart. The women don't go for that. They don't stay long. They're like, oh, okay, you're a darling. You have to go. A'udhu billah. You just going. You don't even have. You have zero. You have no money. Allah mustaan. Or you taking money from all of us. I don't know what you think you are. You have all different types of men out here that are playing games when it comes to polygamy. So no, not everybody can take another wife. People can't be just. People are playing games. But unfortunately, the women, they don't have a backbone. They're not rooted in deen. They can't stop their husband in his tracks and know their rights and stand firm and get help and intercession when she needs it. That's why knowledge is important. Everyone should be studying. Everyone. Ignorance is a disease, and it causes harm to your life. You get married and then want to get divorced and don't know how to get divorced. You need to know. The women need to know their rights. The husbands need to know their rights. That's one thing I used to learn a lot about my rights when I was younger. And I used to tell other sisters, subhanAllah, they didn't even know they had Islamic rights. They didn't know they had rights as a wife. And these women were older than me. They didn't know their rights. That's wild. Well, because people don't have an Islamic mindset when it comes, oh, it's just a relationship. Okay, I'm married. We just do it however. Learn your religion. Learn your religion, especially when it comes to polygamy. It's very important. It's not just a simple, oh, yeah, I'm just taking another woman. Okay, and what are the rules exactly? Oh, well, how many nights does he have to give me? And whose nights, whose days are his? And or are they his? Or can I have them? Or, like, how does it go? And he came to me at this time and that time. SubhanAllah, you know how many marriage questions we used to hear in Philly? It was crazy. That's all the women talked about. Is it permissible for my husband to do this? And my co-wife that? And can he do this? Is that fair? Oh, and don't talk about the house. Oh, he has to provide for all of y'all equally. She has a house, I need a house. Excuse me, she has 5 children. Of course she needs a house. Sister, you're new. You're the second wife. Why do you need a house? Or if the first wife says, no, you can't get another wife because you can't afford another house. Says he doesn't have to get her a house. She's one person. She needs an apartment, not a house. It's according to what she needs. He houses her, provides for her according to what she needs. Why would she get a large house like you and you have 5 children or 3 children or whatever? You have his children and she does not. Why does she need a house? No, that's just being greedy. And it's not putting things in its proper place. If she starts to have children, then, of course, her space is going to increase. But yeah, man, this topic, I don't do marriage. I do not do marriage. I haven't talked about this topic in so many years because I'm traumatized. That's all you hear about in Philadelphia. That's all you hear about. La ilaha illallah. It doesn't matter the class, what the topic of the class is. At the end of the class, the questions will be about marriage. Allahu musta'an. So, yeah, the man is weak to his wife's emotions. He's constantly catering to her emotions. Like I said, she wears the pants. She governs him. She turns him on and off like a switch. This type of individual can't get married. He can't get married. You know? You got to strengthen yourself. You have to know your limits. Know your limits as a man. Know what you can do and what you can't do. Don't let your friends influence you into getting another wife. Know your condition, because you are definitely going to stand before Allah when it comes to marrying someone's daughter and you oppress her. You're not fair, or you cause her some trauma, or you played with her. You touched this woman, maybe even deflowered her if she was a virgin, and then throw it to the side, cast it to the side because your wife she's having a nervous breakdown, all that kind of craziness. If you know what kind of woman you have, don't even try it. Don't even try it. Don't do it, because it's not fair. Now, this is going to be against the sisters. You have brothers who are miserable. Like I mentioned, they'll have a wife who's not religious, and she's not knowledgeable. And nor is she trying to be. No matter how much he encourages her to go to class, pick up a book, she doesn't see the importance. For whatever reason he married this individual, whatever condition he was in, perhaps he was new when he married her, or perhaps he didn't know as much. So he didn't see the importance of her knowing anything when it comes to raising the children. He didn't understand. So now he's come to the conclusion, oh yeah, I'm striving, I'm growing, and this woman is not. You need to read, you need to learn. And the sister doesn't want to. She's satisfied with just having a relationship with her boo, with her husband. I know that's ghetto. I don't use that word, but I have different people listening to me. So those who use that and it applies to them, you know what I mean. But, her beloved, her husband, her dear husband, all of that. That's so in there. She's in the marriage just like she saw her parents in a marriage, or whatever, whoever she saw, if she comes from marriage, who knows. It's not Islamic based besides them both being Muslim. And that's it. That's as far as the Islam goes in the relationship. Everything else is, what it is. They're operating how they operate. Many times nonsense for years. And the man is miserable. I remember being said to me that a lot of the brothers, they hate their wives. They complain about them almost every day. This is when I was in Philadelphia. The brothers would complain about their wives. I mean, really complaining. But he keeps the peace so that the family can stay together. He deals with it. He treats her with kindness even. Yes, dear. What do you need, dear? Okay, I'm doing it. He comes outside the house. This woman, and complaining. And it was said to me, majority of the brothers, they don't like their women. And I was like, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. So you got women who are very domineering. They're overbearing. She thinks she runs the show because she married to a brother who let her. And a lot of times it's rooted in fear. He doesn't want to break up the family because he wants to keep his children together. He wants to see his family every day. So sisters who have these characteristics, shame on you. Shame on you. And just don't be surprised that one day the man breaks and he says, I don't even care. Because guess what? If you fit the description of what I described yesterday, where you're yearning for something, even respect in the house, and you find someone who completes you as a second wife, she's everything you want, she's your peace of mind. In that case, you can see yourself building with her because she has the characteristics of someone who is supportive, respectful, she wants to build, and she's fertile, she can have your children. At the end of the day, if your wife is a witch, and she gives you a hard time without you being married, and then you decide to get married so you can have some relief and some peace, and she threatens you and gives you a hard time and wants to divorce you, don't give her a divorce. Give her some time. Be patient. Make dua for your wife. But guess what? If she leaves you, let her leave you. Let her leave you. Don't give her what she wants. Because that's not grounds to get a divorce. Right? And don't cater to her requests to divorce the second wife if you want her to stay. Because the reality is, if she's egotistical, once you divorce that second wife, she's always going to be in fear that you'll take another one. She's going to say, I don't trust you. She's going to disrespect you even more. And eventually may leave you anyway. So you broke someone's heart, you played with their life by marrying them and then divorcing them because your wife told you to, trying to appease to her. You went back to misery, only to be heartbroken anyway. for her to divorce you and you lose your children. So I would say stand firm. If you make the decision, of course, always make istikhara and ask Allah for help and stop fearing these women. I'm talking about when it comes to the one who he needs to save himself. He finds himself in danger, in misery. He's in heartache and pain, but he's just bearing it. If you need to do what you need to do it. Me, I'm not biased. But I like fairness. I like the truth. I'm a woman myself. I've always been a first wife. I've been in polygamy multiple times in my first marriage, meaning he was constantly taking other wives. So, and so I'm not like biased, like, oh, you don't know how it feels to be married on. I do. But at the end of the day, the religion is the religion. And it doesn't revolve around your emotions and your feelings, sister. It doesn't. And you have to do what's pleasing to Allah. And you ask Allah to remove your jealousy, make it easy for you. And why would you break up your family if you have a good husband? Why would you break your family up, sister? Because he took another wife. If he's a good man, he's still your man. He's still yours. If he's just and he's fair and he's kind with you, and he didn't give you any indication, I'm talking about for the ones that are responsible, they're respectful, they're kind to you, he caters to you, he gives you everything that you want. Why would you think that if he takes another wife, now that's all going to change? No, the men who already show signs of that, that's when it changes. He's already shown signs of being irresponsible, of being flaky. Yeah, you should fear that. You know what kind of husband you have, just like the men. You know what kind of women you have. So everyone should analyze what they're doing before they do it. You have to think. These marriages, what they say, هذا زواج مو لعبة. This marriage, it's not a game. Don't play with people's lives. And unfortunately, a lot of men do that. They'll play with people's lives. A'udhu billah. So that's what I have to, basically I wanted to add. Just some clarity or whatever. The man, you'll need to save yourself. You gotta either, I don't like to say man up. You have to strengthen yourself. Ask Allah to help you and aid you and assist you. Don't forget your dua. You need Allah in all of your affairs. Ask Allah for help. Make dua for your wife that He eases her jealousy. If she's a good woman, then inshallah she will. Her jealousy will subside. It won't be so strong. And the sister should do the same thing. Yes, we're jealous, but Allah is able to help your jealousy subside and not let it be so strong where you want to ruin your family because he took another wife. And that's what I have to say about the subject. We ask Allah to bless us all and to help us all in our affairs and strengthen us and allow us to do what's pleasing to Him and stay away from those things that are displeasing to Him, because at the end of the day, we want to be held responsible and accountable for how we treat one another. And the rights that we give or we don't give, those are not something light. They're serious. The man who is not just, he will become lopsided Yawm al-Qiyamah. If he's not just between the wives, he'll be lopsided. And you need to learn fiqh regarding to what is justice, not go off the women. What is justice? Go to the other man and ask him, what is justice? Just with your time. The man, his days are his. He could go wherever he wants. Sisters, don't go through his phone. Don't pester him. Don't ask him, where are you? His days are his. He could go where he wants. The nights are yours. And you all figure out which days you want to have between yourselves and all of those things. The nights. The emotions will following behind a woman's emotions, it's not going to be pretty. All right. Until next time, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget that Hijra Mandate sacrifice. I'll see you all in the next video, inshallah. Ma'as salama.